I never thought a dress could change my whole life. The fabric feels smooth under my hands as I slip it on one last time before walking out of the small, beat-up trailer my family shoved me into for this trip. They said all the rooms at the Hamptons Club were full, but everyone knows the truth. The trailer was their way of reminding me that I don't belong. The sun is setting, painting the sky gold and pink. My emerald dress catches the light, glowing against the gravel path as I head toward the grand ballroom. Behind me, that ugly trailer sits on perfect green grass, like a bruise on flawless skin. "Look who finally crawled out," my sister Marissa says as I near the tall marble entrance. Her laugh is sharp and practiced. "How's the trailer, Jade? Cozy back there by the dumpsters?" Her two shadows, Lena and Isabel, snicker behind her. Marissa swishes her $15,000 gown like a weapon, showing off the glittering fabric she bragged about for weeks. Lena's suit looks like it belongs on a magazine cover, while Isabel's dress was flown in from Milan. They've been rich their whole lives, raised in our father's New York mansion and spending every summer in the Hamptons like they own the place. Me, I was adopted, the lucky one, the charity case. "Is that the same old dress?" Isabel asks, tilting her head with fake pity. "Didn't we tell you this was supposed to be a formal event?" I touch the beads stitched into the fabric by hand, feeling the weight of it. They think this is just some secondhand shop find. The truth is simpler. It's the only thing I've held on to since I was adopted at 8 years old. Through every insult, every reminder that I wasn't really one of them, I never let this dress go. "Try not to embarrass us tonight," my mother Evelyn says as she joins them. Her voice is smooth, her face stretched tight from years of surgery. "This ball is about our family's reputation. The real families will be here, the old ones with names that still matter. Don't draw attention." Her words slide over me like ice. For years, I've listened to them remind me that I'm not really one of them, that I should be grateful for scraps, for a bed, for a last name that never felt like mine. But tonight feels different. I glance at the time on my father's old watch. 8:47 p.m. Inside the ballroom, the music is already playing. The richest families in the country are mingling under crystal chandeliers. And somewhere in that crowd, a conversation is waiting for me, one I don't even see coming. They think I'm here to play the part of the outsider. All I know is this: I'm walking in wearing the only thing that's ever truly been mine. I've been a Whitmore in name for 22 years, but deep down, I've never felt like one of them. The truth? Being adopted sounds glamorous when the story is told at charity galas. "We saved her," they'd say, smiling at guests while sipping champagne. "We gave Jade a chance at life she never would have had otherwise." But behind closed doors, the words felt more like chains than blessings. "Don't forget where you came from," Marissa once told me as she tossed me her empty shopping bags. "Girls like you don't end up in families like this without help." That's how it always was. Me cleaning up their mess, running their errands, standing just outside the picture frame while they posed for family photos. And the cruelest part, I stayed quiet because part of me thought maybe they were right. At school, they were the girls everyone envied. Glossy hair, designer shoes, drivers waiting in black cars to take them home. Me? I walked. They'd introduce me as our adopted sister, never just our sister. That one word always set me apart. It was a reminder I hadn't earned my place. I'd been given it. At dinner, their comments were sharper. "Are you still trying that little writing hobby?" Isabel would smirk. "Maybe one day you'll get a real job," Lena added, swirling her wine. Every remark landed like a jab, and I'd sit there smiling, pretending it didn't sting, but inside, I'd be screaming. Even my mother, Evelyn, had her way of keeping me in check. Her voice was always soft in public, dripping with fake concern. "Oh, Jade is shy," she'd tell her friends, like I wasn't standing right there. "She's not really comfortable with these kinds of circles." Translation: don't expect much from her. She's not one of us. And when we were alone, the softness disappeared. "You should be grateful we took you in," she'd say, her perfectly painted lips twisting. "Other children like you end up with nothing." That was the game. Remind me of my place. Remind me I wasn't truly theirs. And for years, I accepted it. Until tonight. Because even if I don't fully understand why, something about this night feels different. The ballroom sparkles in the distance, glowing through the tall windows like a world I've only ever been allowed to observe. Inside are names that matter. Families whose legacies stretch back generations, fortunes built on oil, shipping, and steel. The Whitmores like to act like they belong at the same level. But even I can see the cracks. Compared to the real old money, we're just new players trying too hard to impress. And tonight, I'm supposed to stand quietly behind them, smiling politely, while they chase approval from people who barely know their names. That's the role they've given me. But for once, I'm not sure I want to play it. Marissa brushes past me toward the entrance, perfume heavy in the air. Stay close, Jade. Try not to get lost. You know how awkward you can be in crowds. Lena laughs. Or maybe just stand in the corner. That's what you're best at. Their words hit like stones, but I keep walking because while they're obsessed with who sees them, I'm noticing something else. The way heads turn when people notice my dress. The way eyes linger just a little longer on the emerald silk as I pass. They think it's nothing, but I can feel it. This dress is pulling attention in ways I don't expect. And for the first time, it's not pity, it's curiosity. Still, I know better than to let hope carry me away. Hope has always been dangerous for me. When I was 8 and walked into the Whitmore house for the first time, I thought maybe I was finally home. But it didn't take long to learn that home wasn't about walls and chandeliers. It was about belonging, and I never really did. Inside, the music shifts, the soft strings of a violin echoing through the night. My sisters glide ahead, already slipping into conversations with other families. Evelyn lifts her chin high, ready to remind everyone she matters. And me? I pause at the doorway, because the second I step inside, I know the game begins again. The whispered comments, the fake smiles, the little reminders of where I stand. But tonight, something tells me the game won't end the way they expect. I can't explain it. Maybe it's the way strangers' eyes keep tracking me as I move. Or maybe it's the feeling that, for once, I'm walking towards something bigger than the role they've always forced me to play. I tighten my grip on my glass clutch. They think I'll stay quiet forever, but every step I take toward the ballroom feels like a countdown. And when it hits 0, I don't know what will happen. Yet somehow, I know everything is about to change. The ballroom glitters like something out of a fairy tale. Crystal chandeliers hang above, sending little rainbows across marble floors. Waiters glide past with silver trays, offering champagne flutes that sparkle like liquid gold. The air hums with laughter and string music, and everywhere I look, people shine, dresses dripping in jewels, tuxedos so sharp they could cut glass. And right away, I feel it, that old, familiar tug. I don't belong here. My sisters sweep into the room like they own it. Marissa clings to the arm of her husband, laughing too loudly at jokes that aren't funny. Lena dives into a group of finance heirs, flashing her perfect smile. Isabel positions herself near the dance floor, already batting her lashes at some tech billionaire's son. And my mother? Evelyn lifts her chin, slipping into a circle of women who all wear the same frozen, polished smile. She talks about charity boards and art auctions, trying to keep up with names that have carried weight for centuries. No one notices me, not at first. I linger by the edge of the crowd, my hands pressed against the cool glass of a champagne flute. I tell myself it's fine. I'm used to it. I know my role. Quiet, invisible, the adopted girl who should be grateful she's here at all. But then something strange happens. A pair of older women glance at me as they pass. Their conversation falters for a moment, eyes dipping to my dress before sliding away. Seconds later, a young couple does the same. They don't speak to me, don't smile, but their eyes stick to the emerald silk like magnets. I shift uncomfortably, heat rising in my cheeks. Why are they looking? Before I can make sense of it, I hear my name. Jade. I turn and spot him across the room, Caleb Monroe. We'd gone to Harvard at the same time, though he'd been in an entirely different world back then. His family owns half the shipping lines on the East Coast, but unlike most, he'd always been kind. He walks toward me, his easy smile lighting up his face. It's been years. You look. His eyes sweep over the dress, widening slightly. Incredible! That gown! It's breathtaking. Where did you find it? Warmth stirs in my chest. For once, someone isn't mocking me. Someone actually sees me. I open my mouth to answer, and then Marissa appears. Oh, that old thing. She cuts in with a laugh sharp enough to slice glass. Jade loves thrift stores. She's practically an expert at digging through people's leftovers. We keep telling her she should open her own little shop. Her tone drips with sugar, but her eyes are knives. Lena and Isabel giggle behind her, nodding like puppets. The warmth drains from my chest, replaced by the same heavy ache I've carried since childhood. Of course they couldn't let me have one moment. Caleb hesitates, his gaze flicking back to my dress. His voice lowers. Really? Marissa shrugs, already pulling him away. She has a gift for secondhand things, but come, you should meet Isabel. She's much more your type. And just like that, I'm invisible again. I move toward the corner of the ballroom, clutching my glass tighter than before. My pulse hammers, my throat thick. I should be used to it by now. The comments, the pity, the way they erase me like I don't exist. But tonight, it cuts deeper. Maybe because I thought, for a second, this night could be different. Maybe because Caleb's words had lit a tiny spark of hope I didn't realize I'd been carrying. Now that spark feels snuffed out. A violin swells as couples take to the dance floor. Dresses swirl, tuxedos glide, every move perfect and practiced. It's a scene I've always watched from the sidelines. I sip my champagne and tell myself it doesn't matter. That I don't need their approval. That I'm fine staying in the shadows. But deep down, the truth gnaws at me. I am tired of being their afterthought. Tired of being their project. Tired of swallowing my voice every time they decide I'm not worth hearing. The night drags on. I drift through the crowd, catching fragments of conversations, investments, vacations, engagement rumors, names dropped like gold coins. Every so often, someone's gaze snags on me, on the emerald silk. They don't speak, but their eyes hold questions I can't answer. My sisters, meanwhile, shine in the spotlight. I watch Marissa bat her lashes at a banker's son. I see Lena pose for pictures, her hand casually holding a champagne glass, like she's been photographed her whole life. Isabel twirls in the arms of a pharmaceutical heir, her laugh echoing across the room. They belong here, or at least they believe they do. Me? I'm the girl in the corner, pretending the bubbles in her champagne are enough to swallow the ache in her chest. It happens again. Caleb catches my eye across the room. His brow furrows. He studies my dress, lips parting like he's on the edge of realizing something. And before I can move, before I can ask what he sees, "Jade," Evelyn snaps, appearing at my side. Her voice is low, her smile tight. "You're drawing stares. Stand straighter. For heaven's sake, stop fiddling with that glass." I stiffen, muttering, "Do you want people to think you don't belong here?" She hisses, her painted lips stretched in a fake smile for anyone watching. "Behave yourself." Then she glides away, leaving me frozen in place. Her words sink into me, heavy and familiar. "Do you want people to think you don't belong here? I've spent my entire life trying to prove I do. And tonight, I'm starting to wonder if I ever will." The music swells again. I stand near the edge of the dance floor, the emerald silk glowing under the chandeliers, when I notice something strange. High above, on the balcony, a man sits alone. Older, his frame slightly stooped, but his presence impossible to ignore. He doesn't mingle, doesn't smile, he just watches. And the moment my dress catches the light, he leans forward. His eyes lock on me, the hairs on my arms rise. He isn't looking at me the way the others do. Not with pity, not with curiosity. With something sharper, recognition. I step back, my pulse racing. Who is he? Why is he staring at me like that? I glance toward my family, but they're too busy laughing, drinking, performing. None of them notice. For once, the spotlight isn't on them. It's on me. And as much as I try to steady my breath, one truth grips me tighter than fear itself. Something is about to happen. Something I can't stop. The ballroom hums with music and chatter until the man on the balcony stands. At first, no one notices. He's just another figure in the shadows, another guest too old or too tired to dance. But when he grips the railing with trembling hands and begins moving toward the stairs, whispers ripple through the crowd. That's him. Is he really coming down? He never leaves the balcony. The air shifts. I don't even know his name, but the energy in the room tells me enough. Whoever he is, people aren't used to seeing him like this. And the worst part? His eyes never leave me. Step by step, he descends the grand staircase. Every head turns to follow him, conversations stalling mid-sentence. Even the violinists falter, the music wobbling as the weight of his presence spreads. Marissa freezes mid-laugh. Lena lowers her champagne glass. Isabel stops, twirling on the dance floor. My mother, Evelyn, is the first to move. She pushes through the crowd, her voice too sweet, too eager. "Mr. Ashcroft," she gushes, extending both hands. "What an honor, what an absolute—" He doesn't even look at her. He keeps walking, his gaze locked on me. The crowd parts like a tide, and my stomach knots. Why me? Marissa darts forward, blocking his path with a dazzling smile. "Mr. Ashcroft, we've met before at the Vanderbilt Gala. I'm Marissa Whitmore Bradford." He steps around her as though she's invisible. Lena tries next. "Mr. Ashcroft, I'm sure you remember—" But he brushes past, never slowing. Even Isabel, bold and shameless, steps into his way. "Sir, I'd love to introduce myself." His eyes cut through her like glass. She stumbles back, cheeks burning. And still, he comes toward me. I grip my clutch so hard my knuckles ache. The crowd presses in, whispering, buzzing. My sisters stare with open mouths. My mother's painted smile flickers, her mask cracking. And then, suddenly, he's in front of me. Close enough that I can see the lines carved deep into his face, the weight of years in his green eyes. The ballroom goes silent. "You," he says, his voice shaking. "Where did you get that dress?" Every muscle in my body locks. I glance down at the emerald silk, my voice barely a whisper. It was left with me, the only thing I've kept since I was adopted at 8. A gasp escapes him. His hand trembles against the back of a nearby chair, as if he needs it to stay standing. His eyes, sharp, striking green, the same as mine, widen as though the sight of me steals the air from his lungs. "Your mother's dress," he whispers. "It was your mother's." The words slam into me. "My mother?" His throat works like he can barely speak. "Her name, please. What was her name?" My voice shakes. "Elena." That's what the letters said. Elena. The champagne glass slips from his fingers and shatters against the marble. The sound echoes like thunder. "Elena!" He chokes, those green eyes shining. "My daughter. My Elena." Gasps ripple through the crowd. My sister's pale. My mother goes rigid. I can't breathe. What is happening? He turns, his voice carrying across the room now, no longer just for me. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announces, his chest heaving. "This young woman, Jade, is the daughter of Elena Ashcroft, my granddaughter." The silence is deafening. The name hangs in the air like a spark dropped into dry grass. Then the whispers ignite. "Elena's child?" I thought she was gone. That means— Eyes swing to me, staring, measuring. And for the first time in my life, I'm not invisible. I'm exposed. My mother recovers first, plastering on a frantic smile. "Now wait, there must be a mistake. Jade is ours. We adopted her." "You hid her," Mr. Ashcroft growls, his voice rising. "You kept her in trailers while your real daughters slept in suites. You paraded her as a charity case when she was the rightful heir to the Ashcroft name." Gasps again. Someone drops a fork. All around us, the richest families in America lean in, their eyes wide. My sisters stare like they're watching their world collapse in slow motion. "I don't understand," I manage to whisper, my pulse racing in my ears. He turns back to me, his face softening, breaking. "You are Elena's child, my daughter's only child. I searched for you for 30 years. The room tilts, my legs wobble. He reaches for me, gripping my arm gently, steadying me. "You look just like her," he says, his voice raw. "The same green eyes, the same fire. And that dress, my God, I had it made for her when she graduated. She must have kept it. And now, you wear it." The truth crashes over me in waves, the whispers, the stares, the way the dress drew eyes from the moment I walked in. This isn't just fabric. It's history, a legacy I never asked for. And now the entire ballroom knows it. My mother's face twists, her voice shrill. "This is absurd. She's been ours for 22 years. She owes us." "Owes you?" Mr. Ashcroft roars, his voice booming. "She owes you nothing. You stole her life and kept her small. No more." The crowd erupts, some shocked, some delighted, some already pulling out their phones to record. My sisters cling to each other, their perfect faces cracking under the weight of panic. And me? I stand, frozen, emerald silk heavy against my skin, the spotlight burning hotter than ever, because in one night, one sentence, my entire life has been rewritten. And I don't know if I'm ready, but ready or not, the whole world just saw me. The silence breaks like glass. People start talking all at once. Phones lift. The band stops playing. My name floats through the room in whispers I can't catch. My sisters stare at me as if I've stolen their breath. Evelyn moves first. Of course she does. Everyone, please! There's been a misunderstanding, she says, smile tight, voice shaking. Jade is our daughter. She's part of our family. This is all confusing. Mr. Ashcroft turns to her, calm and cold. What's confusing is how you treated her. And that stops tonight. My hands tremble around my clutch. The room tilts. The lights feel too bright. Do you need air? He asks me, voice gentler now. I nod because I can't trust my voice. He offers his arm. I take it. We step through the tall doors onto the terrace. The night air hits my face like a quiet blessing. The ocean is a dark line beyond the lawn. The roses breathe out their soft smell. For a moment, it's just the two of us and the wind. He lets go of my arm and steadies himself on the stone railing. He looks older out here. The ocean is a dark line beyond the lawn. The roses breathe out their soft smell. For a moment, it's just the two of us and the wind. He lets go of my arm and steadies himself on the stone railing. He looks older out here, not powerful, human. I should have come down years ago, he says, but grief keeps you trapped. Shame does too. I wait, my heart banging in my chest. He looks at the dress. His eyes shine. My daughter, Elena, wore that color better than anyone. I ordered this gown for her when she finished school. I thought it would be a gift to mark her next chapter. He swallows. His voice goes rough. I ruined that chapter before it began. A chill moves through me. How? He stares at the garden like he's trying to look back through time. She fell in love with a man named Roberto. He was kind, brilliant. He wanted to be a doctor and serve people who had nothing. And He breaks off, tries again. I said ugly, racist things. I told her he wasn't our kind. I threw class in her face. I broke her heart. She left my house that night and didn't come back. The wind lifts the hem of my dress. I grip the fabric. I tried to find her, he says. I did, but I was slow, proud. By the time I caught up, he shuts his eyes. There was a car accident. She was gone. Roberto tried to raise you. He did his best. When he couldn't, the system took you in. After that, the trail went cold. Records sealed. Doors closed. My throat burns. So, the balcony. I've sat there for 20 years, he says, watching the parties I used to run, too ashamed to join, too afraid to be seen as the man who failed his own child. He reaches into his jacket and pulls out a small photo, worn at the edges. A young woman with my eyes and smile stands in a graduation gown. The man beside her has a gentle face and serious eyes. They look so proud, so alive. Elena and Roberto, he says. I press my lips together hard. I don't want to cry. Not in this dress. Not in this moment. I cannot change what I did, he says. But I can do one thing right. If you allow it, the tears come anyway. What thing? Protect you, he says. Stand beside you. Name you as my granddaughter. Not because of money, because of truth. He clears his throat. We can do a DNA test tomorrow if you want. No rush, no pressure. I'll wait for you. The word wait lands deep. No one has ever waited for me. The terrace doors swing open. The club manager steps out, pale and sweating. 2 staff members hover behind him with clipboards and worry. Mr. Ashcroft, the manager says, bowing his head. We're ready to assist with any arrangements. Mr. Ashcroft nods once. The groundskeeper's trailer, remove it from the lawn tonight. The manager flinches. Yes, sir. And Jade, he continues, turning to me, voice warm again. No more trailers, no more corners. You'll have the Ashcroft suite, if you want it. My voice is small. Yes. The manager exhales like he's been holding his breath for an hour. Of course, miss. He stops, waiting. Jade, I say. Just Jade for now. He nods. Right away, Jade. The doors close. It's quiet again. I look at the photo one more time and hand it back. Thank you. He tucks it away, steady now. Are you ready to go back in? I won't speak for you if you'd rather not, but people will keep talking until they hear from you. I wipe my face with the back of my hand. The girl who hid at the edges of rooms is still inside me, but she isn't driving anymore. I'll speak, I say. When we step into the ballroom, the sound drops by half. Heads turn, people move aside. It's the first time a crowd has ever parted for me. We stop near the center. The chandeliers throw stars across the marble. My dress drinks the light. Mr. Ashcroft lifts a hand. The buzzing fades. Thank you, he says to the room. I owe you clarity and an apology for the scene. I let grief keep me apart too long. Tonight, I end that. He turns, so he's facing me and everyone else at the same time. This is Jade, Elena's daughter, my granddaughter. I failed them both when it mattered most. I won't fail her now. The words hit like a bell. Clear. Final. Evelyn pushes forward, her voice sharp. You can't just rewrite history in one speech. We raised her. We paid for school. He holds up a hand. You kept her small. The room goes still again. Marissa finds her voice next. What about us? We're family. He doesn't even blink. Family is what you do, not what you say. Lena's chin lifts. Legally, he says. We'll handle everything with care and time. Tonight is about respect. Isabel edges closer to a cluster of onlookers, whispering, trying to pull the narrative back. No one follows. For the first time, their words don't land. They hang in the air and fall flat. My heart beats like a drum. He looks at me, not as a symbol, but as a person. This is your moment, he says softly. If you want it. I do. I step forward. The marble is cool through my heels. Hundreds of eyes follow me. My voice shakes at first, but then it evens out. My name is Jade, I say. I was adopted at 8 years old. I've been told most of my life to be grateful, to stay quiet, to make myself small so I wouldn't embarrass anyone. I take a breath. The words settle in my chest like anchors. I can't do that anymore. The crowd doesn't move. The quiet is full and heavy, but it doesn't scare me. It carries me. I didn't know anything about tonight, I say. I didn't ask for a spotlight. I didn't ask for a title. I didn't ask for this dress to mean anything, but it does. And now that I know, I won't pretend I don't. A murmur runs through the room. It isn't gossip. It's attention, real attention. I look at my sisters, Marissa, Lena, Isabel. We grew up in the same house, but we didn't grow up the same way. I'm not going to list every insult. I'm not going to replay every moment. I'm just going to say this. It stops now. Marissa opens her mouth, closes it. I turn to Evelyn. You said tonight was about our family's reputation. Mine counts now, too. Her face flickers. For a heartbeat, I see something almost human there. Fear, maybe. Loss. I let the silence do the rest. The club manager appears at the edge of the floor, whispering with a cluster of staff. A pair of bellmen slip out the side doors toward the lawn. In my head, I see the trailer being unhooked, rolled away, erased. For once, something ugly leaves my life without me cleaning it up. Caleb moves through the crowd until he's near enough to speak. Jade, he says quietly, if there's anything you need, anything at all, say the word. Marissa reaches for his arm. He steps just out of reach. She drops her hand like it burns. The power shift is so gentle, I almost miss it. But it's there. It isn't a slap. It's a tide. Mr. Ashcroft nods to the band. The violinist lifts his bow, waiting. The room is ready to start again, but different. Before we go on, he says to everyone, one more thing. If you have ever looked at this young woman and seen less than what she is, now is the time to correct it. Not with speeches, with actions. He offers me his arm. I look at it. My chest tightens. For so long, no one offered me anything except conditions. I take it. We start to move, and then Evelyn speaks again, soft this time. Jade, please, we're still family. I turn back. My voice is steady. Family doesn't put me in a trailer when there are empty rooms. She flinches as if I struck her. I don't feel proud. I just feel done. I nod to the club manager. Please send my things to the Ashcroft suite. Yes, Jade, he says. 2 words I have never heard in this house. Yes, Jade. We reach the center of the floor. The band begins a slow, elegant piece. People watch, waiting to see what happens. I can feel every moment I ever stood on the edge of a room settle in my bones. Every time I swallowed a reply. Every time I told myself I was lucky to even be invited. The marble, the light, the music. None of it is bigger than me anymore. May I? Mr. Ashcroft asks. I nod. We step into a simple turn. It isn't perfect. It doesn't have to be. The room breathes again. The world keeps moving. But the ground has shifted. Over his shoulder, I see the terrace doors open. A bellman crosses the lawn alone. The trailer is gone. The space it leaves is so clean, it hurts. When the song ends, there's a beat of silence. Then applause rises like a wave. Some faces glow with joy. Some burn with shock. Some are already deciding how to rewrite their own stories about me. I don't care. Mr. Ashcroft leans close. If you want to leave, we can go now. There's a car, or we can stay as long as you like. Your choice. No one has ever said your choice to me at a party like this. The words feel like a door unlocking. I look toward the portraits on the far wall. Women in gowns, men in tails, generations staring down. Somewhere in that line, a gap has been waiting. I turn back to him. 5 minutes, I say. Then we go. Of course. Tomorrow, I add, surprising myself. Show me where my mother used to walk. Tell me everything. His eyes shine again. I will. We stand there together, not as secrets, not as props, but as family built out of truth instead of performance. For the first time in my life, the room waits on me, and when I finally move, it moves with me.